He went to war to forget his crush. Now he's back at school with medals, secrets, and scars he doesn't want to show. If you want a softer military returns to campus novel with an understated hero, a touch of harem antics, and a heavy layer of post-war what now drama, I'm an ordinary returning student at the academy might hit that sweet spot. Karl Adelheit was your average love-struck freshman at a fantasy academy until a humiliating rejection sent him to clear his head by joining the army. Bad timing. War breaks out with the elves a week later, and Karl's quiet break becomes a years-long bloody grind on the front lines. When the dust settles, Karl, now a decorated war hero with hidden accolades, returns to the academy as if nothing happened. But his attempt at a normal student life keeps colliding with post-war politics, old classmates about to graduate, awkward reunions with the girl he once adored, military higher-ups pushing medals and honors, and lingering threats from an unfinished conflict. The story is an episodic slice of life in a fantasy military academy, moving from daily recovery to fresh incidents that force Karl back into the spotlight he doesn't want. Post-war academy life. Unlike most Academy Plus returnee stories that instantly pivot to tournament arcs or power flexes, this one dwells on what happens after the battlefield. The aftermath is half the plot: rebuilding, veterans' grief, medals, and the blurry line between soldier and student. MC isn't a show-off. Karl underplays his achievements, to the point he sometimes doesn't even realize what he's done. He's unreliable as a narrator, which makes revelations about his true past more satisfying. Romance with baggage. The rejected first love isn't just a throwaway setup. She sticks around with regrets and new complications. Other girls enter the picture too, so it lightly dips into harem territory, but stays grounded. No power fantasy for its own sake. You won't get insane system exploits or world-breaking fights every other chapter. Action exists, but the focus is on living with consequences. Surprisingly good translation. For a Korean Academy web novel, the translation here is above average, few major hiccups, clear enough prose, and no immersion-breaking MTL weirdness. Low-key plot. There's no big villain or grand plot twist. It's event to event, following Karl's luck, politics, and small mysteries. Light trauma. Despite its fantasy Vietnam setup, it doesn't dwell too deeply on PTSD. It respects the war theme, but doesn't drag the MC through unending grimdark scenes. Harem tag is mild. The romance never turns hyper-spicy or super chaotic. If you expect shameless harem antics, look elsewhere. Reincarnator gimmick is pointless. The reincarnation aspect exists on paper, but does basically nothing. It's just a tag at this point. MC's luck is plot armor. Karl's so ordinary, he pulls off feats by sheer absurd fortune. If that bugs you, be ready to suspend disbelief. I'm an ordinary returning student at the academy is a comfy, character-driven post-war slice of life, with medals, messy relationships, and that back-to-normal but never really normal vibe. It won't thrill you with jaw-dropping battles, but it will give you a rare look at how a fantasy world stitches itself back together after the credits roll on the war arc. Read it if you want a soft but grounded fantasy with post-war baggage, gentle romance, and a relatable underdog who accidentally keeps becoming a legend. Skip it if you crave high-tension plot twists, heavy action, or a tight main storyline. Rating: 3.8 out of 5. Low stakes, decent payoff, like warm tea after a cold campaign.